It's 4 a.m. in Southern California. So, please excuse my somewhat disheveled appearance as you see me work. So, as normally is the case, if I'm gonna start a new project, this studio is a disaster. I've got a whole lot going on, building a couple other things at the same time. I'm focusing on building this really big castle deck here right now for a show that we're doing in January. And so I kind of need to clean up the studio a little bit before I can really start on this new project, and I'll work on my normal workbench where I can access parts so that I can build an animal. I'm gonna build a creature because that's something I felt like called to me when we talked about this as what it is we got as a challenge. So I'm gonna see if I can't build a custom bear since I am a puppet bear. Off camera real quick, I went ahead and moved like the army in its current state over here as well, just so they're kind of together with it instead of just in a place over there separate from it. So this is kind of how this castle's looking right now. Excited for the show in January. But let's get started on our custom bear. Changed the camera angle. It's the first time I've ever really set it up this way to build from this side on camera. I usually am building at the table, live stream or something like that. So this way it's a little bit different, but this way we can kind of see overall collection. I don't sort by color primarily, I sort by part piece, and so it's gonna be a little bit different trying to find enough brown and tan to be able to build exactly what I want to build. But I think I'm gonna start with just basically some core structure function. That's probably all I have time for this morning, and so you'll probably see me back in here tomorrow morning. But let's get started with what we can do today. Okay, so just initial stuff. I kind of was just pulling out some of the chunkier brown bricks that I have so that I can make enough space. I want to make it a decent size. I don't know that I'm going to use anywhere near this much, but I just want to make sure I had it on hand as I want to add some space and some size. So I pulled out some small ball joints, thinking I'm making a pretty small character, but it was recommended to go kind of as big as you can. So as I was grabbing the ball joints, this was going to just be shoulders and feet, shoulders, legs connections. I realized I could also use the larger ball joints that I have over here for just at least the head connection. So I went in to get that, and I realized I did have a couple of other brown buildable figure type parts. So this foot piece that I could probably pull in and use as the back feet, and then build the fronts in separately. So I think this would be really nice to have set as a solid base too, be able to put those legs in at the back. And I noticed I had this brown like chest or back piece. So I think I'm going to end up using this as the under chest area. I'm still going to build it out a bit, but this helps me get some sense of scale as to what we're talking about based on a couple of the parts that I had available. So then I'll end up connecting the head here, which will give the head a whole good bit of posability through this. So once I design the bear head, it'll be on there. And then body will come off of the chest here with the shoulder joints basically coming in, and then build the rest of the legs in shape like that. So that's what I got done in just this couple minutes. And now I think I got a pretty good idea of scale and shape and size we're talking about. So before I left for work this morning, I had pretty much only like a decent idea of how I kind of wanted to build out this bear's leg. So I had something like this. I've done a lot of work with it to change it up, but I had kind of the start of the leg done. Now I'm at the point where I've got leg, body, and head done. So let me get this put back together and show you these parts. Okay, so this is what I got so far for the overall body. You got the legs in there, overall body shape. I've started kind of smoothing out some of the side. It's not going to be
super smooth for all the rest of it, but I did develop basically a character head, and I've got my little scary bear here. So his head will attach with this ball joint right here to the front and be quite posable. I just don't want to put it on there while I'm still working with the body and have it drop to the floor and fall into hundreds of pieces. So that's where we're at right now. Okay, so there's my custom bear done in maybe a total of 3 hours worth of work. Ended up being a little scarier than I originally intended, but definitely a pretty interesting character, a lot bigger than some I've built, and hopefully this is good enough to show that, especially with all the parts available, I'd be able to build pretty much anything I can come up with in my mind. Thanks for checking it out.